Welcome to another DK Custom Products video. It's going to be another one of our Dyno series videos, and it's also going to be a follow-up video to a video we published a couple years ago, quite controversial, about how the M8 bikes don't require a tune.
Yeah, no tune required, M8 no tune required, and we have in the comments, because we made it before the 21s came out, and in the comments people have been asking us, this is applied to a 2021, and we've been saying we got to wait until we get it on the dyno to find out.
Right, because as some of you may know, they made some changes to the ECM. Actually, they changed the ECM entirely for the 2021 models. So, you know, if we haven't done the test, we're not going to put information out there that we don't know for sure. But we finally got our hands on a 2021 model. But before we get into that information, please like, comment, and subscribe.
So let's just jump into it. Does the 2021 M8 require a tune? Follow up to the video that's in the corner here. Does the 2021 M8 require a tune?
Right, and that's a multi-part question. Does it require a tune? Right from the factory, because as some of you may know, a lot of Harleys do. Does it require a tune when you upgrade the exhaust, when you upgrade the air cleaner? Those are the more pressing questions a lot of you want answered.
Right, and of course the Sportsters need a tune if you're going to put an open air cleaner, open exhaust on it. Otherwise, it's going to stutter and hesitate.
Right, and they really need one right from the factory, if we're being honest.
Right, yeah, they need it from the factory. They're tooling from the factory, even in stock condition, but especially if you put free-flowing intake or exhaust on.
Right.
And the twin cams are even worse than the Sportsters, where they don't necessarily hesitate and stutter like the Sportsters do. They run so incredibly hot and so incredibly lean. That starting in 07, the twin cams absolutely do need a tune in OEM condition, and especially with free-flowing intake and air cleaner. That's not the case with the 17 through 2020 M8s, and we found out that is not the case with the 2021. The 2021, we're going to show you some charts here. The 2021 is a little bit leaner than the 17 through 20s, but it's not horrible at all.
Right, it's not detrimental to the engine life, it's not detrimental to immediate performance degradation. It's just not bad, especially in comparison to what we just talked about, the twin cams and the Sportsters.
And the Sportster. Now, will it run better with the tune? Yeah, it will run better with the tune. Is a tune needed to protect the components of the engine? No, it is not. So let's jump into it.
Now this chart shows the air-fuel ratio on a stock Milwaukee-8 2017 to 2020 model Milwaukee-8s. As you can see on this chart, the blue is the stock tune. Except for the peaks, which are shift points, the air-fuel ratio is sitting between 14.5 and 15 while cruising. The red is the stock improved tune via the Power Vision. Except for the peaks, of course, which are shift points and a couple of heavier throttles, the AFR is sitting between 14.5 and 15 while cruising.
So this chart was in our first video, M8's no tune required. And this is on the 17 through 20s, sitting between 14.5 and 15 is perfectly fine. 14.7 is stoic, and that's where ideally the AFR should run for both power and fuel economy.
Correct.
And then if you look at the 2021, we did the charts a little bit different. You'll see here we have cylinder number 1 and cylinder number 2, and the AFR is mostly sitting between 14.5 and 15. You see it peaks its head over the 15 line just a little, but not even to 15.5. It's not that significant. A lot of people say, well, that's not an ideal tune. No, it's not an ideal tune, but it's not horrible. It's not going to damage the bike. So you can see in cruising and closed loop, and we'll put a video up in the corner about what the differences are between closed loop and open loop to understand that. But in closed loop, which is cruising, which is where most riding is done, you can see that it's hanging out right between 14.5 and 15. And then we also did a run. Here's another chart. We did a run showing with a PV can tune. You can see that it's not even poking its head above 15. It brings it down closer to the 14.5 mark, and it's bouncing between the 14.5 and the 15. So you can see a very small difference between the OEM tune, where every now and then it bounces above 15, and it really doesn't touch the 14.5 mark much at all. Whereas with the PV tune, it just gets it a little bit richer in that closed loop area. And some of you may ask, why does it drop down? Well, because we were cruising and then we gave it more throttle and dropped into open loop. And that's why you can see the chart go down and AFR to the right there. So now looking at the OEM tune on wide open throttle, which is where you do want to get, you know, if you need a wide open throttle it, you know, passing someone, you want all the power you can get. You don't want that tune suffering when you go wide open throttle. You need to pass that semi that's driving crazy or whatever. So at wide open throttle, the OEM tune, you see it drops down to right at 12 and a little bit below 12. So it's bouncing, you know, 12.1 to 11.9, which is perfect for wide open throttle. That is ideal. And that is the factory tune. So again, you do not need to put an aftermarket tune on your 2021 M8, whether in stock condition or when you're adding free-flowing intake or exhaust. Is it as good as the 17 through 20s? By just a tiny, tiny bit, not quite as good, but it is absolutely rich enough that you're not going to cause damage to the bike by running with the OEM tune. So, long-awaited 2021 update. Sorry, it's Harley's introducing the 2022 models in a week.
By the time this video is published, it would have been a week or two ago.
Right. But we have the information. Your 2021 is good with the OEM tune.
Right.
We will update the description below with 2022 information as soon as we get it, and it won't be a long time like it has been on the 2021.
Yeah, because as I said previously, we make no assumptions in this data. You know, the data is what it is, and we're going to share it with you. So 2020 models, this information is relevant. We will update the description below when we find out about 2022 models. Now, you've watched this far in the video, you're probably asking yourself, why won't you just quit being cheap and get a tuner? Not an option for everybody, you know. Factory warranty, they don't like fuel management devices like the Power Vision. So, you know, you might say, well, then get a Screaming Eagle. That has its own debates of why, you know, that's a waste of money, and we're not gonna get into that. And there's really not a lot of options out there for fuel management devices. You know, Power Vision, it's good, but there's not an option for a target tune for 21 models. So, you know, your options are limited for fuel management devices, but this information shows you that it's not absolutely needed.
Right. So in summary, the 2021 is good with the OEM tune. It can be better with an aftermarket tune.
Absolutely.
From a Power Vision, but it is not necessary. What is not different, and we have some other videos coming up on the M8, the 2021 models have the same heat challenges that the earlier Milwaukee-8s had, twin cams had, and we're going to put a video up in the corner showing how drastically the power drops when the heat gets up to where Harley dealers say it's normal for it to run that hot. So, and then the other thing is that we've done a whole video series on why and how to cool down your Milwaukee-8 and twin cam engines, and we will put that in the description below, and we'll put the first video in that series up in the corner above.
And as always, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, leave us a comment down below or shoot an email to support@dkcustomproducts.com. Y'all ride safe out there.